is using this table here to put our gardening supply in, and we store stuff underneath like garden hose and stuff like that. But this is kind of a way to put stuff underneath the table, and I think this table here has seen better days. When I was young, I used to use this table to fillet fish, but like I said, now we're just using it to put garden supply on it. And yeah, it's really getting rotten pretty bad. They're right through the plywood. Anyways, I am going to build a new table. Okay, these are going to be the legs for my table, and look at that. I am not impressed, to say the least. This 4x4 is made like a diamond shape. Isn't that terrible? I paid quite a bit of money for this lumber too. Look at that. This is why I don't like to buy 4x4s. I see this way too many times. I built a raised garden bed last week. It was 4x4 pressure treated wood, and some of the pieces were just as bad as this here. So this is almost 3.5 by 3.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plane two surfaces, the top and the bottom. I think I'm going to plane it down to about 3 inches. And then what I will do is I will put this piece of 4x4 in my table saw. And I will make sure my table saw is nice and square, and just trim the both sides. Then I will make this piece of wood nice and square. Okay, so I planed it down to 3 1/8 of an inch. So I didn't plane down on this side, did not plane down on this side, only top and bottom. And look at this, look at that. That is terrible, terrible. But we are going to fix that in the table saw. Okay, now we got to make sure that the blade is perfectly square with the table. And that looks pretty close to me. This piece of lumber was so much out of square that I was forced to cut it down to 3 inches and 1/16. And remember, we planed it at 3 1/8. So I'm going to plane it all around. I'll make it 3 inches by 3 inches exactly. Okay, now I'm all done planing the 4x4s, which are now actually 3 inches by 3 inch. They're all nice and square. They're all exactly 3 inches by 3 inch. I made 5 pieces, but I'm gonna choose the 4 nicest one. Look at that. It's just about perfectly square. So I gave it a nice little radius at the corners, also at the bottom of the leg, and that's important because if you don't give it a radius here, it could split the wood. It could pieces of wood can chip. So I'm really happy how those legs turned out, nice and square. Now I've finished cutting all my 4x4s for the frame for my table, and you see this pile here, that they're pretty good, but look at these here. Look how warped it is when it dried up. It really warped. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plane every single one of them. These are about 1.5 inches thick, and I'm gonna plane them down to about 1.25 inches, just so I can get the two flat faces, and it'll be just easier to work with after. Okay, I'm all done planing my pieces. They're all cut to length. They are 3 5/8 in width and 1 3/8 in thickness. It's nice when you can work with wood that's nice and flat.